Tips to improve your chances of getting your vocal song synced. Some of these we've already really hammered in. This first one is really something I stand by when I am sharing this with you. Authenticity trumps training. Focus on creating an interesting, evocative vocal rather than a pristine vocal. Must melodyne, and less sloppy pitch is appropriate to the genre. Even then, we gotta be careful. We can't be way out of tune, but just a little bit imperfect. Otherwise, our ears are so trained to hearing perfect pitch now that if it's not perfect on a pop song or a dance song or some of these certain genres, it's not gonna feel good. It's gonna take us out of the moment. I didn't really talk about this one yet. Beware of ballads. They are generally much harder to place. It doesn't mean don't do ballads. Please do. We all love ballads. We love to sing ballads. We can get so emotional on ballads. But they're just not getting used as much as up-tempos. So I would say, and this is without any concrete research, but I feel like for every ballad that gets used, 10 up-tempos get used. So just keep that in mind. When you're trying to get those syncs, go for those up-tempos. Vanish the vibrato. This is one I've really hammered in, but again, it's something that I know from personal experience with some as a voice who has a lot of natural vibrato. Just use it sparingly, unless there's an edge to it. Billie Eilish is one example. Brandi Carlile has this wide, it is so wide, her vibrato. It's like you could stick a little stick in between the oscillations. It's so slow, but it works. Contrasting, there's a lot of singers who have like a really fast vibrato. That seems to work well. So gauge where you are in that spectrum. The big one that we're looking out for is the musical theater and classical vibrato. Rein in the range. Save the fireworks for your live performances, for your YouTube channel, for your album. There you can really go crazy in terms of how high you sing, how low you sing, how varied your melodies are. But when you're dialing it in for film and TV, consider keeping the range not too crazy. An octave and a half should do the trick. Okay, didn't talk about this one yet. Nonsense vocals make perfect sense. There were some examples in the reality TV's section where it's like, whoa, oohs, lahs, heys, yeah. These, if you have little moments like this, a post-chorus or something like that, an intro, where you're just doing an ooh, whatever. These moments can often be the moments that get used because there's so much more opportunity to use it because it doesn't have a meaning, or it has a very mild meaning like yeah or hey. So it can fit a lot more scenes, and it's more about the energy. More about the energy, more about the rhythm, and more about the mood, rather than this lyric is about ice cream and my ad has nothing to do with ice cream, can't use it. But if it's just, oh, and then the rest of the song is, I love ice cream, okay, we can use the oh part, So consider that. And then the last tip. This one's the downer, but it needs to be mentioned. Make sure you have a mastered instrumental version of every song that you are pitching, every song that you sign to a library or a sync agency. Because even though so many more vocal songs are getting used now more than ever, especially in reality TV, with that said, there's still way more instrumental music that gets used than vocal music. So I, for one, would much rather have my instrumental version of my song get used than not get used at all. So always make sure you have that mastered instrumental version.